meeting is being recorded.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing screen. Good evening and welcome to our presentation. Marcus and I are pleased to have the scripts for books 3 and 4 of our 6-book series for you this evening and to receive feedback. We have our actors present as well to read for us. Before they come on and take away the show, Marcus and I are going to do a short presentation just talking about some of the background for this project, as well as what books 1 and 2 were and the timeline up until this point. And then we'll just go straight into the reading. So one moment as I screen share. But Marcus, did you have any other opening remarks? Or Dr. T, our fearless leader for this project?
Welcome, everybody. This is our first attempt at a draft of a script, and so I had to share with everyone and get feedback. And yeah, the point of this project is to include everyone. So we look forward to hearing what everyone has to say.
Well, I'm getting all my tech put in place, and all I have to say is, wow, you have no idea what we're on the brink of. Just earlier today, I had the governor-elect of the state of Maryland, Wes Moore, sign with his Sharpie the Barbershop Storybooks 1 and 2 prototypes as we did interviews at Radio 1 today. So this is a really great day, and more the stories matter. And on Wednesday, I'll be at the White House by way of invitation about the successes that we've made. And this storybook is a part of how we come back together and heal our community. So many stories need to be told, and we're writing the first draft of that history right now. So I just want to applaud the young artists who are here and let the audience know that they're attracting other young people to get involved. And as Marcus said, they could be doing other things, just like each and every one of you out there tonight could be doing other things, but you're here with us. And here's how we take the successes of the pandemic, the silver linings, and share them with the world. So I'm going to turn the floor back over to Marcus and Jasmine and say, take it away.
All right. we will take it away. And Maggie, also, if you could go ahead and pin Marcus and I so that we're side by side with the presentation, that'd be
That'd be-
awesome.
Yeah, you
Just
can
so
put
folks.
me in the audience, Maggie.
Okay.
Hey, and you know what? We're learning this technology, and it really is. We're producing our own shows, and people are coming back to whatever their new normal is going to be, and that means finding new ways of spending their time, and they're doing it with us. So yes, just pin the two of those artists, and Marcus and Jasmine, you've got the floor.
Cool.
Awesome. I think I can
Further
spotlight myself.
welcome to the Barbershop Storybook project. We're a public health initiative where we partner with University of Maryland and the research they do at the School of Public Health. They've done a community vax report. So we hit the next slide, Jasmine.
Mhm.
The community vax report was a 32-page report about PG County's response to COVID and how they went about it. And in the report, it has about 24 people telling their stories. So then we take that and make them into the comic books that we're sharing today. And yeah, so the main point of the report was how to improve communication of healthcare materials to people. And we are ushering in a new solution to that with local examples and real people.
Yeah, and the whole point of these books is to have human-centered design. So we want our characters to be based on the community vax report, but to feel real to the people reading it. So we're including the folks that we're representing our community every step of the way. And this presentation this evening to get your feedback is one step of achieving that goal. And so we're processing these feelings in real time, and then we translate them into these 6 tangible books and storylines that we hope you can relate to, see yourself in, and feel inspired by. So, like I said, from there, we created our 6 plot lines, and you'll get to hear plots 3 and 4 today. We're really excited to debut that tonight. Just so you have
Can I
some.
just interrupt just real quick. So
Yeah, go ahead.
Maggie, go ahead and pin Jasmine so that they're side by side there.
Or is it only me?
Right now,
No,
it's
she
just,
has pinned.
maybe it's my
I think I
screen.
can. There we go. I just added a pin.
If you put it on speaker view.
Okay, there you go. Sorry for the interruption. Proceed.
All good.
Give you what you need. So here's
Yes.
the project. Go on, Jasmine.
Yeah, just the timeline of the project from when Marcus and I came onto the project to today. So anyone who's new and has not heard a presentation by us before can be up to date of all the work we've been doing. So December 2021, that's when JM, my initials, and Marcus, MF, Marcus's initials, that's when we joined the project. And then from December to March of this year, that was when we were doing phase 1, which is creating these 6 storylines. It was researching, it was interviewing people, it was putting them into these storybooks and making sure we were touching on the themes that the community vax report highlighted and the issues highlighted. This included over 50 illustrations, and we pitched it to Dr. T and our team, and they loved it. And that's when we just went into phase 2, which was creating print ready books 1 and 2. That was the goal. And we are fine tuning between May and July. And July is when we started phase 3, which is a marketing and engagement phase for books 1 and 2. Phase 3 included a whole lot of things. It included the spontaneous barbershop reading, the blood pressure event. That's when we commissioned puppets with Richard, who's creating these for us. We have little Anthony so far, which is a character from book 1. And we're going on to little Danny and other characters. So that's exciting for what we're doing in the future with the reading at Thomaston Elementary. That's the location of book 2. On September 12th, we had a reading at the Woolly Mammoth Rehearsal Hall. That was our in-person reading of books 1 and 2. It was very exciting. We have an hour-long documentary of the night that we posted as well, and we'll be premiering. September 17th, that's when we were at the African American Cultural Festival. We got to do a presentation to everyone present at the festival on the main stage, on the big stage. That was really exciting. We got to get a 12-year-old's reaction to our books, and he was just laughing at the book, saying like how much he loved it. And his aunt would say that, his mom would say that. And just see in real time those reactions was really heartfelt and meant a lot to Marcus and I. Our October 2022, that's when we completed book 1 Spanish translations, or rather I completed the illustrations for that. And then we had the translators on our team. They had completed those translations in September. We also had a meeting with the RHU Dean, Stephanie Shonikin, which was really exciting. So exploring a collaboration with the University of Maryland Arts and Humanities College and seeing how we can loop in our alma mater. Marcus and I are Terps. And now we're in November 2022. So we're completing the Spanish translations dialogue. I need to put that onto the illustrations. And then we are commencing the process for books 3 and 4, which involves getting the feedback. It involves altering the script and editing and rewriting and all those things. It involves getting reference photos around town so that our illustrations feel familiar to people. It involves the the communication between Marcus and I, and refining the images so that they're ready to go to print, and they're of quality and something we're ready to show to the world. So this is our very condensed, very distilled timeline, and there's so much more ahead, hence the arrow and not it being a finite line.
Good summary. For now, so now we're going to give you a little bit of context what you're about to see. We're not going to tell you too much about books 3 and 4 because we want your reactions as they come. But in book 1, we have Antoine, so we're going to pick up with him in book 3. But he's our main character in the series, and he's not interested in getting vaccinated, but he meets people along the journey who kind of challenge his perspective. With the books, we wanted to have the stories at the heart, all the things that happened during COVID, but we don't want them to be COVID books necessarily, just a sign of the times and a historical document that reflects the real life things that people in Prince George's County went through. So that's the intro for book 1. He argues with his sister, and then he walks the nephew. And then book 2, Jasmine. After he drops him off at school, we stay there and we see little Danny, who's anxious about a bully who told her that her mom was going to die of COVID. So you have kind of like this like model for parent teacher student interaction that researchers didn't look at and copy or give them more insight into what people are going through every day. Then we have book 3, convenient for some. Just to give you the idea of what you're going to hear, Angel has to use the bathroom at a convenience store, and things follow from that. Then book 4, we have, here are some images from that. Run it back one more time, Jazz. They need to see the art.
All right. Let me run it back.
While you're running it back,
I went into the art.
I would just say,
feel.
while you're running that back, let me stop you right there. And I am telling you, even today, Larry Young, very famous radio talk show host in Baltimore, just couldn't take his eyes off of it. And he asked me, what age group is this for? And then I had to comment on the fact that he couldn't take his eyes off of it. The young kid at the festival couldn't take his eyes off of it. And we saw a father reading it to his son in the barbershop when he was a little nervous. The artwork is captivating. And what's so remarkable to me is that was not your lead, Jasmine. It was your discovery.
Yeah.
It's like a blessing.
It is a blessing. It's a gift.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Reference images that we made during the pitch, just for you to have an idea of what it would look like. So hit them again, Jasmine.
Yeah, these are the initial pass at images that we made back in, that was December through March for our phase 1 pitch. So these are just our sketches. This is Antoine walking and running into Angel at the convenience store on the corner. This is our shopkeeper, Lydia, who's giving a mask to Angel so he can use the bathroom, and Antoine standing in his orange hoodie watching it go down. Angel heads into the bathroom, and this is them finishing their interaction as Antoine goes on his way to the rest of his day. So I'm trying not to give away too much of the plot, but you see what we're thinking in terms of sketches and the flow of the story. And now we have book 4, which is Uncle Earl and Otis. I have to say, my grandfather's name was Earl, and so I wanted to pay respect to him with this character. So Pastor Vince checks in on his Uncle Earl and Otis the pug. So we have some reference images of Uncle Earl. He's watching one of his favorite shows. We see a picture of him and his dear friend Benny, who passed away. Behind him on the coffee table, Otis is barking at the door. We have Pastor Vince coming in with some groceries. Here's Earl reflecting about memories, and that's in the top left corner, thinking about his friend Benny and how they used to play checkers together. Another picture of Pastor Vince bringing those groceries, and then when he heads off to the barbershop. And that's our feedback slide. This is actually the part where we get to hear the actors bring our script to life, and we will hear your thoughts following the presentation. So make sure to take note of things that stood out to you, that were shocking to you, that you really liked, things you have questions about, or any ideas you have. We want to hear it all. So take note. If our actors could come on camera and prepare to read for us. I'll do some.
Well,
Hello. What's up?
I was going to say, while they're coming up, what a wonderful job you and Marcus have done to reach out and find these actors. They're part of a network that extends the family. And it seems like they really get the story and they really do bring it to life. And it could be in and of itself a standalone, back to the old school radio stories when we got around the radio with the family. That's what this could be. I can't wait to meet your artists.
Thank you, Dr. T. I'm going to introduce everyone and say what role they're reading. So we have Timothy Johnson doing narration and stage directions, Jake Jackson reading for Antoine, Kiddist. You have to share the pronunciation for your last name so I don't mess it up.
Selassie.
Galassi.
That works too, yeah.
I'm sorry. Kiddist reading for Lydia, the shopkeeper. Aleem Kamara reading for Benny. William reading for Earl. Paul for Pastor Vince. And Giuseppe reading for Angel. And I'm so pleased to have you all here. Thank you. So Tim, was someone about to say something?
I was saying it was a pleasure to be here.
Yes. Tim, you'll be starting us off with the title for book 3, and then we'll go right into it.
Alrighty. So let's just get right into it. Book 3, Convenience for Some. Our story begins with Antoine on the 86 route Metro bus. He sits in the first seat in the back, just behind the glass. A female passenger is on her phone, just a few seats in front of him. He has earphones in, but he's really eavesdropping on our conversation.
Jocelyn.
Forgive me.
You're back in, Tim. Go again.
Give me the lead in line. All right.
No problem. He has his earphones in, but is really eavesdropping on our conversation.
Okay. How about you come say hi to her then? Right. Exactly.
He requests a stop. We see next stop, 38th Avenue and Hamilton Street on the sign. Antoine gets off the bus. Exterior, sidewalk during the day. Antoine walks on the sidewalk down the street. 2 frames later, he's 15 feet away from the entrance of a convenience store. Angel, 23, rushes out of the store, looking for someone to help him. He tracks Antoine.
Hey, yo.
Antoine hears someone, but figures that person must be talking to somebody else.
Hey, excuse me.
Antoine turns around to see what's going on and accidentally makes eye contact with Angel. They lock eyes. It's too late for him to turn around now. He faces toward Angel and takes out one AirPod. They talk from a distance.
You talking to me? Yeah, I ain't got it. Sorry.
Antoine begins to put his headphones back in.
Bro, I'm just trying to use the bathroom. But the lady in there tripping. Can you help me out real quick?
Antoine looks at Angel for 2 seconds before deciding to agree to help. He walks over. Angel is still standing by the storefront.
All right, bro.
Bet. Appreciate it, bro.
Inside the convenience store, the door chimes as Angel enters first, then Antoine second. Immediately, Lydia, the shopkeeper, an East African woman in her 50s, protests.
No, out of the store. Get out of the store.
I gotta use the bathroom, chill.
She is not happy. Antoine is trying to figure out just what he walked into.
I told you have to have a mask and be paying customers. Store policy. You are not welcome in my store.
Chill, why you gotta stay on max for? I said I have money.
No, I will call the police. Do you want me to call?
Angel is peeved. Antoine mediates and levels with Lydia.
Whoa, relax. I pay for him.
Yeah, you pay.
Yeah, I got him. Just let me use the bathroom, please.
Lydia examines Antoine, then Angel.
Fine, but you need to pay before I give you the key.
Antoine grabs a banana from the basket on the counter.
That will be $1.50. $1 for the mask.
And you taxing for a banana, $1.50 for a banana?
Plus $1 for the mask.
Antoine pulls out a $5 bill.
No cash, $5 minimum.
You doing a lot right now.
What you say?
Nothing. Here you go.
Antoine adds a pack of gum to his order, then pays with his Cash App card. She gives Angel a mask and then the key.
Bring it right back. $50 if you lose it.
Angel takes the key and heads into the bathroom. Antoine can't believe she said $50. Lydia looks distressed.
You okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Antoine points out the photo on her keychain, which is laying on the register.
You have a beautiful family.
Her face relaxes. A smile nearly breaks through for Lydia.
Thank you. You remind me of my son, Solomon Miskin.
Antoine laughs.
You understand? Are you Habesha?
Antoine smiles.
Nah, but I got another before.
Inside the convenience store bathroom, Angel's unzipped backpack sits on the bathroom sink. Toothpaste and deodorant sit beside it. He brushes his teeth while his phone charges. Back at the register, Antoine points to the picture of her family again.
Is that your son?
Yes. Very good boy. He just got his master's degree. Are you in school?
Not anymore.
Hello.
So you graduated? Good. Good. Your friend is in the bathroom. You must have a mask. I'm the only one who lives in my family. We cannot afford to get sick. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you vaccinated?
Antoine lies.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Angel returns and hands Lydia her key.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
For sure. Why can't you use the bathroom? You far from home?
I lost my spot not too long ago. Used to stay over Kaywood, but I got evicted.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I used to be a server, but the restaurant closed down.
You don't got unemployment?
Nah, bro, I called them every day and still hasn't kicked in.
Yeah, you want some chips or something? I'll get you a snack.
Appreciate it, bro. Can I get a water too?
Angel and Antoine walk through the aisles. Angel picks up an energy bar and a water bottle. Antoine grabs a vitamin water.
Vitamin water for $2.50. This lady taxing.
I said the same. So what do you do now?
I'm just trying to get to it for real. Applying to jobs, doing Postmates when I can. I'll be all right though.
Antoine looks pensive. Angel's story feels all too familiar. They're at the checkout. Lydia doesn't let them pay. She smiles as they walk out, then looks down at her family photo.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
Back on the sidewalk, Angel and Antoine are back standing outside the convenience store where they started. They can't believe they just finessed.
Wow, we really just finessed that.
Yeah, that's what's up, because I wasn't trying to pay all that. Should have grabbed me a Snickers bar while I was at it. How you a convenience store but don't take cash?
You'll be surprised, man. Past few weeks been a wake-up call.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I never got your name, by the way.
Angel.
Twan. Well, all right, my G. Stay up. I'm going to catch you.
Antoine and Angel dap up.
Bet that. Appreciate you, bro. Have a good day.
You too. Stay up.
Angel and Antoine walk off in different directions. End. Going on to book 4. Book 4, Uncle Earl and Otis. Outside the convenience store, Antoine and Angel walking in opposite directions. Antoine walks with his hands in his pocket and looks to the sky. He thinks to himself, who is looking out for those who are in between homes? The camera moves away from him. We see just how big the world around him is, made up of so many people. Outside of Earl's apartment, the camera closes in on Earl's apartment window on the 4th floor. Inside Earl's apartment, we see Earl, a Black man in his late 60s sitting in his apartment. The apartment is neat, but well lived in, with pictures and memorabilia that he's collected throughout the years. Many of his friends are gone, and he's made it a habit to keep a little something from everybody. Earl sits on the couch and pets Otis the pug while watching a basketball game on TV. Sport commentators narrate, fans jeer, and a referee's whistle adds to the commotion. Earl looks over to the coffee table, and we see a close-up photo of Earl and his friend Benny playing checkers from way back in the day. Earl takes a deep sigh, coasting on the waves of that memory. Inside Earl's apartment, flashback to 5 years ago. It's 2016. A playoff game is on, and Earl and Benny are sitting at the kitchen table playing checkers. Benny's 6-year-old granddaughter, Princess, walks in and out of the scene. Benny moves his checker in for the kill. Earl's attention is split between the checkers game at hand and the basketball game on TV. Earl furrows his brow, studying Benny's last move and trying to figure out why the board looks so different.
All right. See, now you're messing with me. Princess, come here.
Princess comes to the table. Earl's voice softens a little bit while speaking to the child.
How you doing now? Now, you wouldn't have happened to see your granddaddy move any pieces, would you?
Princess looks at Benny, then shakes her head no. Benny lets out a big belly laugh.
You just can't accept that I'm better than you.
No. You see, there you go. I beat you 2 games ago. Now, don't get short-term memory on me now. You only won because the game was on. And you know I can't pay attention when the game gets good. And you always wait for the good games to play.
All I'm hearing are excuses. When you got it, you got it.
Yeah, whatever, you old cheat.
Oh,
Yeah, old. VA, how old?
Who you calling old?
You.
Negrito. We the same age. Except me, I don't look like it. You, on the other hand, look more like a prune every day. Huh? Meter.
You
Then he,
so jive.
then he points to a mirror on the wall. They look at it and laugh together.
You know, you so jive, man. You got me by a couple of days and a couple of grandkids.
Oh, you keep counting them. Don't you got something better to do?
Nothing better than whipping your ass in checkers. King me, nigga. King me.
Earl laughs hard in his chair, clapping and banging on the table, obnoxious on purpose. Benny sits there smiling and shaking his head in disbelief. The granddaughter laughs too.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
Oh, you gonna regret that. Keep on talking.
Inside Earl's apartment, back to the present. A loud knock on the door snaps him out of his daydream. Otis runs up and barks incessantly. He wipes his eyes and tells Otis to be quiet.
Man, sit down. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. I get it.
Earl makes his way to standing and walks toward the door.
Who is it? Who is it?
Paul, it's you.
Then, oh, snap.
You're good.
It's Vince.
Oh yeah, you got a mask on?
Man, I sure do.
Earl opens up the door for him. Otis greets Pastor Vince, a Puerto Rican man in his 30s. He dons a button-up, jeans, and a cross necklace. He's holding way too many grocery bags for one trip, but he sure ain't making two after all. They are on the 4th floor.
What I tell you about knocking on my door all hard like that?
Wait, is it Vince and Pastor that's the same?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That
Oh.
is Pastor Vince.
Good to see you, Unc.
Yeah, you too, son. You want some help?
Earl lets Vince in. Otis hovers around Vince's feet.
No, I got it. Look, have a seat, Unc. Look, I'm gonna put it away for you, okay?
Pastor Vince totes the bags over to the counter and begins unloading them.
You sure got enough groceries. Look, you give me some pork chops.
Earl returns to sit on the couch and Otis follows.
No pork chops.
Now, how come you always got everything but what I asked for? All that rabbit food. Where is the meat?
Come on, Unc. You know the doctors told you to cut down on that stuff and keep your numbers low, okay?
Look, don't think you can come up and tell me. Don't think you can come up in here telling me what I can eat.
Hey, whatever. Look, how your week been? Catch me up.
Man, not too much. My age still comes by and we walk. Makes me some of that stew and put on those Nollywood movies. I mean, those movies crazy, man. But they good. Just something to watch. Other than that, just getting by.
Sometimes that's all we got to do. Just get by.
Flashback, 1 year ago in church. Pastor Vince stands in the pulpit, flowers around him as he eulogizes his father, slowly.
Nothing could have prepared me for today. The day I lay my papa to rest. Like Jesus, I have wept, and like Martha, I have mourned.
Wait, Paul, run that back from the top of the funeral without the accent. Go for it. But
Okay.
You're doing great. Go for it.
Nothing could have prepared me for today. The day I lay my papa to rest. Like Jesus, I wept, and like Martha, I've mourned. And to this day, I never understood how people would say to just get over it. No, I want to feel this one. Let's feel my Papa Benny. I don't think I will ever stop feeling this. I don't want to. It's a true loss, and though I cry, and I laugh. I can't help but to laugh and smile, just jump sometimes. When I look back on the jokes, the terrible, terrible jokes. Oh, and the way he used to cheat on checkers.
Several members in the congregation say, "I knew it," in unison. The rest laugh. Their familiar faces, including Center for Health Equity staff, workers from the barbershop, and characters from book 1 and 2.
When me and my primos were younger, he would have us take the piece, and you guys were looking perdonamos.
He laughs, then chokes up.
I promised to take it to the grave. I guess this is the day.
He breathes. His wife and daughter, Princess, join his side to comfort him. His wife holds his hand.
I think we all will be able to do some days in what we can. Let's not move past this, but move with this. May we allow ourselves to be changed, to get by and to know that it's okay. Papa Benny, we will never forget you. You were a blessing to our lives, and I truly thank God for you. I would cherish every moment. Y te veré en mis sueños. Rest in power. May God keep you.
Amen. Earl sits in church with Otis on his lap. His daughter Letitia is on his left, and his granddaughter Daniela is to his right. Tears fall from both eyes. Back to the present reality.
Uncle Earl.
Inside Earl's apartment, present.
You all right?
Hey, yeah, I'm all right.
Earl wipes tears on his sleeves.
In 2 months, it'll make a year. I realized it yesterday. Time goes. Seems like there's never enough of it.
Your Uncle Benny and I was like, man, we was like sardines and beans, man. Always thought I'd be the first to go, and now I'm one of the last.
Earl looks at a throwback group photo of himself, Benny, and their other friends in the 80s. They each wear high shorts. Pastor Vince walks over and takes a seat next to him.
Those were the guys, huh?
Me, Benny, Hawk, Bruce, Mac. Man, we used to be wild back in the day. But then we had our kids. He had you, I had Tisha. And we just had to do the right thing by y'all.
Who is she, by the way?
Well, Tisha's good. Busy with her job, but she brings Danny over every now and then, and we play some board games.
Good.
This picture.
Vince takes and holds the photo.
This picture, I mean, who would have thought that Benny would have given birth to a pastor? Man, I tell you, life is a trip.
They laugh.
I miss him every day. But I'm glad you're here. You and Otis.
You look just like him, even with the mask on. Good to have you around, son. I got Otis, but he don't talk nearly as much. And he ain't no Halle Berry, if you know what I mean. Can't look at him too fast. It's like ugly cute.
They laugh together. Otis the Pug makes a face.
We miss you down at the church. The guys at men's prayer breakfast, they've been asking for you.
What are they asking you for? They got my number. Well, when's the next one? I have to check my calendar.
Next one is next week before our vaccine event on Saturday. I was hoping you could come and join us. Ooh, we're partnering up with the barbershop.
That may not be for me. You see, I already did my part. I got my vaccine, remember?
Earl points to a photo of him at the vaccine site wearing a sticker on the mantle.
But how about your booster?
Oh, all right now, Dr. Pastor Vince. Are you a doctor or you a pastor? You pick one, you can't be both. No, and I ain't getting that mess. I already got the 2 shots. No one told me when I got the first 2, I'd be getting 5, 6, 7, 8.
I hear you. I hear you.
Son, listen. Are you listening?
I hear you. I hear you.
I made it through the 68 riots, the DC sniper, made it through Reagan. Thank you for your concern, son, but I'll be okay.
You right. You've been through a lot, but I just want you to think about it. Have I ever steered you wrong?
Well, there was that one burger joint you took me to. Oh, that bathroom up. You never did apologize for that. You know, ain't enough windows in the world to clear that air. Woo-wee.
They laugh.
All right. I'm sorry about that.
Well, other than that, no. And now I joke, but I'm serious. Getting the first 2 were hard enough. My body was sore. I had fever, and it gave me a bump right up underneath my armpit.
I see how that can concern you, but no, not gonna lie. Same thing happened to me.
And how come people still get sick after all these boosters? I mean, what's the point of getting them? Putting all that stuff in your body.
The main point is to keep you out of the hospital. And so your body will be prepared and recognize the virus if it gets to you. Vaccinated folk, who do we get COVID-10 to? Vaccinated folk who do get vaccinated folk who do get COVID tend to have mild cases. The symptoms after the shot are much better than the real thing, man.
Okay, you got the answers, huh?
Look, I don't have them all. I know it's a lot, and you don't have to make decisions right now, but we all have experts there. Will you at least come and talk to someone? They can give you better answers than I can.
They're going to be breakfast?
My wife's making the grits.
Well, you should have started with that.
I even have a flyer. I can.
Pastor Vince gets up and feels around his pockets to find it.
It's in my car. I'm gonna circle back and I'm gonna give you one.
Son, look, just text it to me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm about to head out to the shop. I got an appointment. I put the groceries in the fridge and the medicine in the cabinet. And go check the freezer.
Why?
Just check it, please.
Earl gets up to check the freezer. He finds a pack of pork chops and smiles.
See, I knew you loved me. Thank you, son.
Pastor Vince puts on his coat.
Just remember, moderation.
Yeah, moderation. Oh, okay.
Love you. And I see you soon.
Love you too.
Pastor Vince texts Mike the barber that he's on the way.
And that is the conclusion of book 4. Thank you, actors. That was
Wow.
wonderful.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
For our audience, feel free to turn on your cameras if you're comfortable, or you can keep your cameras off, but we'd love to have you engage with us and offer your feedback. So like I was saying beforehand, we divided our feedback into 3 sections. There are pops, which is anything that stood out to you, that you really liked, that shocked you, surprised you. We have wonders, that are questions that you had to expound upon, and what ifs for ideas for improvement. So we'll start with pops. What did you like? What stood out to you? What surprised you? Oh, and we have little Anthony joining us today.
And Jasmine, do you want hands or just open mics? What do you want?
We can start with people who are raising their hands, because I see Katrina has her hand up.
Oh, look at
And folks can also unmute when there's a moment if they'd like to do that. But Katrina, you've got the floor. What do you think?
Yes, well, I'm driving, Jasmine, so I can't be on camera. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm just sitting here driving, excited, thinking about where you guys first started initially in the first book, and to see you here is amazing. I love it. And what I really, really loved about it, what part for me in book 2 and 1, I mean 3 and 4, I'm sorry. They was relatable. They to everybody, family. I like the love that was expressed in both 3 and 4. I like the fact that these books will definitely open up a conversation piece in the salon and barbershop. Awesome. And like I said before, this is greatness. You guys are definitely headed for greatness. I loved all the actors, and I love that it's a conversation piece. I love it.
Thank you, Katrina. And I want to
Awesome.
add, because I don't think I mentioned this in the presentation for anyone who's new tonight, these books will be printed and distributed in barbershops and salons throughout the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, the DMV. So Katrina is a part of the Wellness Warriors, and we're going to have our books in her salon, and we're just really excited to have you give that feedback. It means so much to us. Thank you.
And think about it. She was driving and just listening, not even seeing the actual face, and it really got to her. Amazing.
Yes. I also want to highlight Marcus has our initial puppet, Little Anthony, which is a character from book 1. So he is joining us tonight as well on Marcus's screen. But anyway, oh, we have more people raising their hands. Letty, what's up?
Hey, I'm sorry I joined late. I couldn't really make it on time, but from what I heard, I really enjoyed the differences between the characters with how they were characterized. They all sounded very different, not only because they were voiced by different people, but you could tell each actor portrayed a sense of emotion with their characters, and I really enjoyed that.
Thank you. We're so glad to have you here. Yeah, the actors, hats off to you. Thank you for just jumping right in and swimming with us in this river. Janice, I see you have your hand raised. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me, Jasmine. I have not had the opportunity to listen to books 1 and 2, which is fine because 3 and 4 is so connected, as Katrina was saying, and she's multitasking, driving and listening, so power to her. But I thought it was great, and I really am looking forward to if I can get a copy or listen to books 1 and 2, just to see how it continues to tie it together. The other thing that I like so much about is that I could even relate to like Uncle Earl, who remind me so much of my grandfather and my father, how they talk, how they shoot the breeze and like hit at one another. And the young man who played the pastor role, he reminded me so much of my nephew and his love and his willingness to help one another, but yet to spread the word and get the message across. So I think you guys are doing an awesome job. Again, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and we have, let's see, I think it's Jonna. Jonna has her hand raised.
Hi, you guys. Oh man, it's a cliche, but I really did laugh and I really did cry. Like I laughed and cried. Incredible. The book 3, like I loved the dialogue going into the convenience store, and I loved how you had both the fear and how people took care of each other through that, like just so beautifully portrayed, the fear of the shopkeepers and people who are on the front lines needing to like hold their line, and then showing how people are, and then she's also turning around and taking care of their bill at the end, and and how Antoine is taking care of Angel in that scene. I just loved it. And also there was, a lot of humor. I was laughing during that scene. And then the funeral, you really let us mourn. And I feel like we just haven't had enough of those opportunities. And it really got to me. I really, it was very emotional, and I loved it. And then there was one little detail I just wanted to make sure you don't lose as you're going into your artistic process, Jasmine, was that there's a line that says Earl makes his way to standing. And it's like, that is so good. It's so real. Like as you're
Mhm.
getting older, you don't just stand, you make your way to standing. I don't know how exactly you're gonna like get that, but I know you'll figure it out. And you guys are
Mhm.
doing amazing work. There's so many great details, you know. I just loved it. Thank you.
Thank
It's almost
you.
like you put him
Thank
on the
you.
walker or something, kind of help him position himself in some kind of way. I don't know, just to throw that out.
Yeah, I plan to play with like angling, camera angles, if you will, to show how he's getting up and how he moves his body in the space. And I just want to add, as someone who's navigating their own condition, health condition, it's important to me to highlight how folks with disabilities are navigating the pandemic. And that's why we want to make the books accessible to different learning styles. Like that's something we really want to emphasize in our characters and also in the process of the books and making it, putting it in people's hands so they can read. But Dr. T, I see you have your hand raised, so I'll toss it to you.
This is just real quick now that you mentioned just the sensitivity around how he got up. The interview I did today was with Larry Young, a very famous Baltimore radio host for decades and a former member of the Maryland legislature. He now, because of diabetes, had a foot amputated. And today I saw him, I helped him get up. He's using a walker for the first time. He's got a caregiver. And in our interview, he self-disclosed what it meant now to even need a caregiver. Okay, this is a man's man. And what you were able to do in the scene, we had that morning scene, Jonna, was two men, two Black men. And those actors took us there. Paul, come on, man. You are awesome. And Tim's reading of the context really set the tone. That's a very important role that he plays. And while we got a little choreography dynamics, they brought the emotion with them, and it came across these Hollywood squares. That's what's amazing to me. And that means that they're into it themselves, not because, it's a job. And just one other thing I'm saying, I'm gonna put my hand down, I promise. Where's Antoine? Jake Jackson out there, the brother who sat in the barbershop chair
Yo,
and decided to read.
yeah,
I love that
actually,
you're still involved, Jake. You bringing it real. And I think that's another part of the story, that this barbershop storybook is bringing new talents out, even among us. So bravo. That's my pop.
I
Thank you,
appreciate y'all.
Dr.
Continue to
T.
have me.
Yeah, for context, Jake, he was getting his haircut. We were not planning to meet him that day, but we said we're gonna bring the scripts to the barbershop and see who wants to read for us and do a similar format to this, but more impromptu. And Jake was like, I'll read for Antoine. And we were like, wait, he's perfect. And it turns out his last name is Jackson, and the title of the first book is The Jackson. So he's been with us for
Kismet.
he was with us for the barbershop reading. He's with us at Woolly Mammoth, and he's here with us tonight.
Awesome.
It's been awesome. Paul, I would love to hear your thoughts, and for any of the actors, because you had the script in front of you, to hear your perspective. So go ahead, Paul. What do you think?
I love the way it was written. I love the way that you kind of brought us in and gave us the direction and everything like that. One of my favorite parts, even though I was acting as Pastor Vince, but was with Angel and Antoine, because I went through both sides of that, going to a store and not having money, and then they don't let you use the bathroom, what I'm saying? Then you find out he's brushing his teeth. He has a traveling bag. Like, he really doesn't have a home base. And he came in and said, hey, bro, what you need? You want some chips? And that's like one of our basic needs, love, food, shelter. And he came and aided him with that. And they always say it's better to give than to receive. So he really showed him like, hey, I'm here for you, even though I don't know you, but look, let me buy you some chips. Let me get you a vitamin water, So I thought that was really, really genuine and organic.
And another example of two now young Black men helping each other out
Right.
in a very subtle way. Amazing.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I really
You're welcome.
appreciate that. Does anyone else raise their hand? No, it's Katrina and she's driving. Well, the floor is open, folks. If there's anyone with pops, feel free to unmute. If not, we'll head off into wonders and questions you had.
But you did a great job reading for Earl. Do you have any reactions having read that part? William, if you're around.
We'll see if he comes. I think Marcus, I would really agree. I thought he did a great job. And see, for William, see, I've met some of the other actors and actresses, so you're new to me, William. I was just so glad to see you. And I wrote into the chat, "That's my Uncle Lynn." Exactly what Uncle Lynn would be doing. And the way you guys wove that bathroom humor in, it again, from a tear to laughter, that's not easy to convey. And it was so authentic.
Yeah, William, thank you for bringing that to
thank
light. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like, how does it feel reading for Earl? What stood out to you?
Well, it felt real reading for Earl because I agree with him. I want to in booster shots myself. I mean, I got enough. I want 5, 6, and 7, 8 of those things. I really got enough. I think that I agree a lot with Earl, even down to the pork chops. You know, I like to eat. And I like to eat. And I there was one thing in there, and this made me think about the movie. I know what was it? The Otis thing. Ain't nobody talking to you, or something to that effect.
Temptations.
Temptations or something.
The Temptations, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I think Janice was trying to say something, but you froze, Janice.
I'm sorry.
No, I was about to Earl said, just keep moderation, just keep it in moderation, as he said.
Yes.
And all the
moderation. Well, I want to thank you again for having me, to allow me to read.
Thank you.
So William, let me just keep you there just for a moment, because you and Paul, and I've even heard from the others, you're giving thanks for being able to read. I'm trying to get under that.
Well,
where's that gratitude coming from?
It's coming from a place that is something I've always wanted to do, that I really enjoy doing. I mean, it's all I think about. And to be able to convey somebody else's thoughts and try to bring somebody else's vision. And if I do a good job, it just makes me feel good to know that I did your piece justice. Kind of it in a nutshell.
Wow. How about you, Paul? You're muted, Paul. You're muted. You're muted.
I can agree with what Wade was saying 100%. I mean, being able to showcase your art and your talent and to be able to share it and take people through those emotions with the pathos and ethos, it's heartwarming. You know, Stella Adler said a quote way back. She said, "Life will crush and kill your soul." She said, "But the arts will remind you that you have one." And I feel that being a part of the arts just remind us that we're human. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to not be okay, you know. And by losing my mom to breast cancer and thinking about, you know, past events, you know, losing someone, and I'm like, man, it just took me back to that mental spot. And in acting, we call it sense memory. You know, when you pull back from an emotion to bring out that real emotion, and you can feel like, hey, I see why that's real. He's pulling from something that hurt him previously. And I didn't really want to like dip down and tear up. It's a table read, but if we had to go there, then I would have took it there. But it's just grateful, being able to share my gift, because we all have gifts and talents, whether it's acting, barbershop cutting hair, like you're grooming, like people, like we don't look good if we don't got a fresh cut. So our services, like Jesus always said, the greatest among you are my servants. And I feel like as an actor, I'm a servant to my audience, to the writer, to the director, to everyone that's a part of this project.
Okay, Pastor.
Yeah.
You better
I'm really
preach. All right, Pastor, take us to charge.
Dr.
Amen.
Dr. King used that same quote in his drum major instinct speech. And I think that's a lot of what we're seeing here. Drum majors for justice, because it's all about service and saving lives, even one by one in the chair.
Amen. I agree.
Love it.
Can we hear from?
I did turn into a pastor just now.
It's okay.
Amen.
Marcus, what were you saying, Marcus?
Ayana, Jeremy, I'd like to get your reactions.
He's calling on Ayana.
Ayana and Jeremy.
Yeah, I thought you guys did a
Hello,
pretty-
everyone. My name is Jeremy. I came a little late, but I did really enjoy just how real, and even through this audio experience, how much of a performance that you all gave. It felt very theatrical. I felt like if I closed my eyes, I could see the stage and see the setting. And so I thought it was just a very big shout out to you all in conveying the action and the drama of what happened. So yeah, that was my feedback. I really appreciate it. And I think the concept and the ideas. I haven't read the first two books. I'm curious as to where we can see those. I'm all the way in New York, so I don't think I'll be going to the DMV for any barbershops or salons, but if you can, make those accessible virtually, that'd be great too.
We got
Absolutely. Yes.
Hey, Ayana, you got the floor.
Hi, Dr. T. Good to see you again. I'm multitasking as well, but I thought that it was very authentic to the area specifically. I think it pulls you in as an audience member when you hear, lingo from the DMV and, the person playing Earl, I think it's William. Yeah, I think he reminded me a lot of, older men in my family. So I think all of those kind of details pull you in. The accents and things like that.
Earl would say, "Who you calling old?" That's what Earl would say, "Who you calling old?"
Yeah, and even the details about the pug making a face when the dog was called ugly and stuff like that. So I thought it was very comical and tackled real life issues that we faced during the pandemic that we saw amongst our community. So I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you. Who else can we hear from? I also want to weave in, because I want to be mindful of time, any questions folks had, or there's my mom. There she is. I was about to call on you, Mom. You're muted.
You're muted, Mom.
I'm saying I'm at the airport getting ready to catch my flight, but I just wanted to say, Jasmine and Marcus and Dr. T, I am so proud of all of this that you guys did. And the character of Earl, that's my father. And I am honored that you put him in there, and that is that depicts him really well. It's a true depiction of his character. Thank you, Jazz. You guys are awesome.
Love you, Mom. Yeah,
Love
I wanted
you.
to use his likeness for the illustration, and put some of his humor in there. So
very funny, man. Awesome. I'm getting ready to go to my gate, but I just wanted to, chime in.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom. I'll see you later.
Awesome. Proud of you guys.
Safe flight.
Proud of you. Thank you, Dr. T.
Again, another silver lining. She's getting on a plane. listening to us at the airport, and we're all together.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the
Uh,
fact that that's
wouldn't
your
miss it for the
dad.
world.
And I saw my uncle. You know, you've
My mom.
woven in the common humanity, and that's not easy. And so at some point, Jasmine and Marcus, in terms of the writing, you know, they embodied the words, but those words came from somewhere, and those details really mattered in setting up, you know, what people experience. So, you know, bravo there. I see you have a hand up in the corner.
That's Jonna.
I'm back. Yeah, I was just thinking, because I know we're running out of time, and the one little tiny thing, I don't know whether anybody else experienced just like a second of confusion, but I did with, I felt like I was at risk of getting Princess and Daniela sort of collapsed into one character or mixed up. So I was just thinking, maybe when you're drawing Princess, she needs to look really different than Daniela.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Was it, do you mean confused like
Okay, what
like you were
happened was,
thinking?
yeah, what
Okay.
happened was, it was like there was a checkers game and a little girl was stealing a checker, and then like 5 minutes later I found out that there was the granddaughter was Daniela, which I was very charmed by, right? Earl's granddaughter is Daniela. And then I was like, oh, so she was the one stealing the checker. Like, that's when I got confused.
I
You see
see.
what I mean?
I
So
see.
probably with the visual, I would have been totally fine, because I wouldn't have gotten confused. But I always am, you know, kind of marking where I have any kind of little misunderstanding. But, you know, the one other
Yeah.
thing I just want to say really quick, you guys, is this is such a huge project and you're doing such amazing work. Just make sure you're taking time for self-care, taking care of yourselves. It's like such a big, big thing. It's a lot of pressure. You're just being so creative. You're doing fantastic work. Just take care of yourselves. Make sure you're, you know, doing what you need to do.
So
Thank you for saying that. Marcus and I have many conversations where we advocate for the other one to take care of themselves.
So they're self-motivated, self-driven. I'm glad you mentioned that. So I don't think I'm driving them, but and at the same time, events are driving us all. But we're well positioned. So I try to give them everything they need to keep this going. Back to the scene, Jonah, you were talking about. Think about it. It was probably one of the more complex scenes without the visual in front of you. It was a memory. It was the dynamic of real life and then the memory. And now we're back real time and then the memory. The fact that it worked at all to me is amazing. And it works both just hearing it and visually. And so I think you're right. In the visual, that would be picked up on. But it's one of the most complicated components. I say complex in a very wonderful way of the whole storyline, a memory.
Thank you. And our goal, as we always say, is to never, you know, hold anyone long, but hold you strong. Amen. So we do want to, if anyone has any final questions or, you know, holds that we should consider in our next draft, what ifs, wonders, any questions you had, any directions, maybe you have some kind of idea that you want to share, the floor is open. I know we're over time, so you have to leave. Thank you. You may do so if you have to, but thank you so much for staying behind. And we just want to continue to hear if you have any other ideas while we have this on space.
I had a question.
Ed?
I had a wonder, I guess, Dr. T would say. But I was wondering how Earl got vaccinated in the first place. He didn't want to get the booster, but who got him his appointment to get vaccinated? Because I was reading back through the Communivax report, and it was so complicated because he was probably eligible early, right? Because he's older. And it was so hard, so complicated. You know, how did he feel at the beginning? versus that snapshot, that thin slice we had of him being like, I don't need that booster. I'm done with all that. You know what I mean? I was just
Like,
wondering.
was there some type of initial excitement when he got the first shot?
Yeah, it's just that was something I hadn't thought about in a long time, was how difficult those appointments were to get.
Yeah.
Or how much of an ordeal it was. Okay, I finally got those two.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me I need 5 more? You know,
Mhm.
the expectations were out of whack. And no, I thought that was really interesting. His hesitancy was tied to a bad experience, or not wanting to have a bad experience.
Yeah.
I like that note.
I'm
But hey,
taking
hey,
notes.
Meg, don't you think that
Yeah.
he got kind of intrigued about coming to the barbershop, since they were gonna, what did he say? Are you gonna feed us? He said you should have led with that in the first place. I mean, that is just so
Literally.
perfect. Come
Yes.
to the party, and they just happen to be doing vaccinations.
I see
Like,
Jonna's
yeah.
note in the chat. Oh, sorry. I didn't. Were you gonna say something, Meg? Okay. Jonna saying it seemed like all the older folks need some kind of help. Can you elaborate on that thought?
Oh, I was just remembering that, people, what I meant was getting that vaccine, getting the first vaccine. It seemed like all the older people, at least in my life, like none of them could navigate the computer, whatever it was that needed to be navigated to get the first and second shot. Like they all just needed help. Like everybody was, was trying to help the older people in their lives, I think, get that appointment, figure out where the
Yeah.
appointment was, and do you remember there was some kind of list? What was it? It was like a Facebook group or something that was like Maryland vaccine hunters or something.
Right. It's like we
Yeah.
forget.
There were so many crazy things. There were people wearing huge, crazy particle masks. My husband had one of those that he's kind of DIY'd up. There were, we were at one point, we were wiping off our groceries with like disinfectant. I mean,
That's right.
there were so many things. And it's just great that you guys are kind of mining all that. It just feels like it came and it went, but
No.
it's all in our it's in our bodies still, all of that experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there was something in the report that was saying one person's experience, or how do I want to phrase it? Like the key to getting a vaccine appointment was having a younger person in your life who could navigate the website and booking the appointments. And honestly, I was 22, 23, and I needed Marcus's help to book an appointment because he was offering to he was booking appointments for people in his life. And I was like, well, I love your help because I am confused by all the messaging surrounding this. So I can only imagine for someone who didn't grow up with technology in the way that we did, the trouble navigating the booking an appointment. So I just want to capture all of that.
My friend Idris and I booked about 90 appointments total, because we follow like this vaccine robot that would tweet a link and within seconds you had to book it. So I was on the phone with a lot of people, had like the whole wait list and all of that, but we got a lot of people vaccinated during that effort because they were like hotcakes.
So you say, how resourceful is your network? And it shouldn't come down to that. And even in the storyline that's in there now, what it means going cashless in these stores, it locks people out in ways that we don't anticipate. We still got chat activity. We still got 19 people here. So I'm going to go up to Jonah. You see, Jonah, that's what we got to say. Y'all got to go to bed now. Y'all got to go to bed now. So let's take it to 8:15 and wrap. And what it would suggest is this: we need more huddles, more space for this kind of debrief.
Right.
For
There's
sure.
There's an audience out there. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we're at 8:17, so we can bring the room to a close, though we are always open. Well, for this period, we're open to feedback until the next, until we go into illustration mode. But we have a few weeks before that. So thank you so much to everyone who has joined us this evening, for the feedback given, for the space held for this project. Much love to everyone, and we will be in touch with you about our next event. Thanks.
Till we meet again. Bye-bye. Hey, Marcus, you got
Bye.
music to take us out? Where's our soundtrack?
That's me.
And that was nice music in the opening too.
Thank you.